Hello and welcome everybody, it's CD Mangaka, and the PlayStation 5 version of Dragon Ball FighterZ is now out and available. At least it is to, pretty much I think everybody out there. It's 10:36 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for me here. And we haven't really checked this version out. We don't know like if, the input delay is any different or how the netcode is going to behave on the new console generation, right? It is the rollback netcode, but, a couple of things to learn and test up. But right now, what is the most important thing to me is talking about this oversight, I'm hoping, by Bandai Namco. So I currently have the PlayStation 4 version of the game booted up. You can see I have the PlayStation 4 controller here. If I go in, everything with my character select is pretty much fine. It's fine. It works and it behaves. I have Labcoat. I have every single character. We're peachy. We're good, right? Now if I come down here and I close the game, and we're going to go to the PlayStation 5 version of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now you're going to have to bear with me for a moment because I'm not cutting this. I'm not able to really do any fancy edits or anything like that. We just kind of have to sit here, let it load. And it loads like instantly, which is pretty crazy. This is version 1.34 on the PlayStation 5 version. If you boot up the PlayStation 4 version of the game, it is still at 1.33, interestingly enough. But that's probably just the difference between having the rollback netcode and not having it, right? Now that I'm here, you can see at the bottom, you'll see transfer save data from PlayStation 4, where you can hit start, you can do transfer. All your replays, all your trophies and stuff will carry over, so that's a very neat thing. When you first log in, that menu actually has a third option, which is to do the transfer as well. That's something I did off camera. But now, let's see. I'm hoping that this isn't the case, because if it is the case, we got ourselves a little talk, a little thing to have with Bandai, because I don't know, something's fishy, and I'm hoping it is just a mistake and nothing predatory on their part. And we'll see if I'm leading up to nothing. I mean, if we're leading up to nothing here, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, right? Let's try to go here. I feel like I can't enter in some of the lobbies. You can tell that the lobbies are starting to fill up as people are realizing, like, oh, I can access this version of the game, right? So we're here. We have my the same avatar. We got the new PlayStation 5 menu icon buttons, right? We can jump over here. You got the new PS5 image, actually. So waited 3 months for that. Cool. Stuff's completed here. But if I go into training mode, you will see that I don't have access to Labcoat 21. I can't play her. And if I go to the PlayStation Store, right, so I had to do this earlier, like initially this was the case for all the characters on the PS5 version, right? I had to go into the PlayStation Store, I had to install all of the individual characters, right? Like you see there's Android 17, Majin 21, Bardock, Z Broly, I had to go through all the add-ons right here, right? There was the passes, and you can say that everything's purchased, so once, I went in, I could just download everything from the passes, right? And everybody got installed, right? Everybody got installed. However, when I look at Labcoat, there is no install for her. There isn't. There is simply buying this character yet again. Which, let me see if I delete her from the cart. Right? There isn't anything in my cart. $4.99. A character which I have already purchased. And a character who is one of the strongest characters in the game, mind you. If you want to play her currently on the next-gen console version of the game, you have to buy her again. And I'm not the only one with this issue right here, right? So I tweeted this out. Lucky Star is reporting the same issue. King Lord Beers is reporting the same issue. I believe if I come here, King Hikari removed. Labcoat, that's a funny one actually. KJ Pixel, who I believe is is primarily an Xbox player for consoles, says it's the same thing with him. So no matter where you look, if you want to play one of the strongest characters in the game or whatever, you have to buy her again. Bandai, what is going on here? I mean, it's a new release. Maybe there's something a little glitchy. Maybe it's not recognizing like this particular license that we bought because it is separate from all the other Season 1, 2, and 3 pack licenses, right? But, I mean, this is something that has to be addressed at one point or another, and I just want to give you all a heads up. So, I mean, you know, like our boy said, Hiroki removed Labcoat, so, you know, just if you don't buy her, can't use her. But this is a little weird to say the least. Hopefully we get a statement on this soon. Hopefully this is just a bug that gets fixed. But, you know, for right now, y'all, don't spend your money. This has to be a mistake. This has to be something that has to be corrected. And if nothing comes of it, then there is something very, very predatorial going on with this one. And, you know, for those of you asking, like, well, okay, mangaka, but why could this be important, right? Like, PlayStation 4 Pro is probably still going to be the offline tournament standard. I play on PC, it doesn't matter to me. Well, there are some people who are trying to move on, right? Like, maybe they sold their PlayStation 4 and now they can play this game with rollback netcode on the PlayStation 5 version, right? Maybe they, you know, maybe their only way of playing the game has been with a console. They don't have a computer that's good enough to run a fighting game like Dragon Ball FighterZ on it and play with that rollback netcode. So maybe console's the only way through, and if this is a character that they wanted to play, they have to buy her again if they've already purchased her before. You know? Like, it's... Something's weird. Something weird. Something be weird. I don't know what it is, but just... Hold. We do not buy, we hold. Hold firmly, chat. Hold firmly, YouTube. Anyways... Excited to see how this feels and how the gaming games. CD Mangaka, signing out.